Welcome to the Mordor presentation on its HTTP client and server. This one's going to be a bit different than the other ones that were slide decks. This one we're going to actually dive into the code and get a little interactive with the people here in the room, see how it works, and see actual results. So we'll have the screen going up here so you can see what we're doing. So let us start out with a simple HTTP client. Mordor examples wget.cpp. Yeah, and let's throw this all away. So we're going to start out, we're going to do this with an IO manager, just because it's fun. And let's do something simple like retrieve a web page. So first thing we need to do is we need to set up our request. So the thing you do is you set up your headers that are going to be in the request. And request headers dot request line. The header structure is set up according to the HTTP specification, so the headers are grouped according to what they're for. So
syntax highlighting in the other one?
No? Oh, sorry.
You're asking for too much. It's nano.
So the request line is the URI, and then you have general headers, you have request headers, you have response headers, and you have entity headers. So we want to set our request headers, our URI equals, let's do this. We want to do, let's just do a get to get Google's homepage. The default method is get. It does support all the methods. And then we need to actually do the request. Equals, let's start with, what do I have up here? We're going to do a request broker. Do I pass IO manager? I can't remember. Mordor HTTP broker.h. So a broker is just, it deals with establishing the connection for you. Yeah, so the first parameter is an IO manager. Default request broker, pass it our IO manager. So it deals with establishing the connection, retrying any errors if you want it to. So let's just do that. Broker, we want to do the request with these request headers. And then let's just do this the easy way. Transfer stream. Request, each request has a request stream and a response stream. We're only interested in the response stream, and we're going to pipe it to standard out. So pretty simple, set up the headers, get our object that we're going to use to make the request on, and do the request, and then look at the response. And then we do make Mordor examples wget. And this computer is not too slow. Oh, of course not. Request, oh, no? Oh, yeah, I know it. Because request headers, so there's a grouping of headers that are request headers, but the request has request headers, response headers, request line, etc. Oh, and I need to add my include, no? Because I'm not using HTTP. I'm just going to use namespace HTTP so I don't keep forgetting. Namespace Mordor HTTP. Cool. So let's run it. Mordor example wget. Awesome. Of course it fails. Demonstrating Mordor giving you the backtrace of the exception.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, what is it? Bad message header. Oh yeah, because Google does not follow the spec. And Mordor doesn't currently like that. It's not lenient. I think Yahoo will work though. Ooh. Gotta compile. Yeah, there we go. So we just got the whole web page that was returned by that and passed to standard out.
Now, why would Google fail?
Because they use an invalid header to appease Internet Explorer. It's invalid according to the spec.
And you have a way to make Mordor's HTTP library more lenient than that?
Yeah, it needs to be made more lenient. Let's turn on some logging so we can see what that was. wget.log, log, debug mask equals Mordor HTTP client, Mordor examples, wget. So those environment variables set some configuration parameters for Mordor that enabled logging, and we can look at the log, and we can see it made the request here. Here's the request. We saw the connect happen. We see the request with the header. The request broker automatically took the header, the host name out of the URI and put it in the host header, so it could use HTTP 1.1. It's smart enough that if you're going through a proxy, that it knows to keep that in the request line where it's supposed to go. Then when we look at the response, HTTP 1.1, 200 OK, transfer encoding chunked, so Mordor did the chunked encoding for us completely. The request stream we asked for from the object, from the request object, didn't have chunked encoding on it. It was just the actual data stream, because we didn't see any chunked encoding in our standard output.